Yeah, I'm excited about this one. If you're watching on YouTube, I have a little duck in my hand, and you'll hear why this is happening.
Why don't you introduce
Oh, and
him?
there
There
he
it
is.
is.
We have
Yes.
Dave Phoenix Farrell, the Hawk, the winner of how many ducks do you have? Is it two and a half?
I wish it was 2.5, Mason. We got a
Oh,
solid
okay.
two. Some people call it one and
Okay,
a
all
half, but
right. I couldn't remember.
it's a
Yeah,
solid two.
exactly. I know. Well, those half ducks can get a little confusing, but we got Dave Farrell of Linkin Park. He's been a longtime member of the great band Linkin Park, and so happy that you could jump on with us and talk a little golf, talk a little about y'all's tour that you've been on. I did you see? Were you with a good friend of ours there in Pittsburgh yesterday? Is that what was happening? Tell us that story.
I was, yes. But first of all, I know, most of the wonderful people in the Milwaukee area are probably thinking Dave's on to promote, Lincoln Park's show coming up August 25th at the Fiserv Forum.
Nice.
He's here to talk about that. However, yes, but more importantly, definitely here to talk some football and obviously some golf with you, Mason. And is it okay
Exactly.
with our friends in the wonderful Milwaukee area? Is it okay to talk some non-Packers football? Is that
Sure. Oh
yes?
yeah,
Okay.
and we can talk soccer as well. I allow it on the Mason Crosby
Yep.
show.
There you go.
Soccer is allowed, even at the even though Tommy and my normal host Mitch Nellis are not soccer lovers. I got them into a Premier League fantasy league, so
Kinda, and then
I
no
have
one
these
knew
guys
when the
dialed in.
draft was, and then apparently I have a team, and I have no idea. I don't forgot my login already. I have no idea what's going on with this.
All
It
right, so
sounds like
take us there,
a
Dave.
perfect setup.
What do you want to talk about? What football team or what what do you want to talk about other than the Packers?
Yeah, so we played in Pittsburgh last night. We've been here in the city for the last couple days. Had 2 days off prior to that. And one of the guys that works with us, he has a brother who played with the Steelers back a handful of years ago and still has ties. Um, so he's kind of like, hey, do you guys want to go out, check out some of the practice, do a tour for their facility, that whole thing.
Heck
So we're
yeah.
like, heck yeah. So we went down there yesterday and, you know, hanging out, eating a burger in the food area. They welcomed us with a nice team lunch, and Aaron
Nice.
Rodgers comes in, says hello, and then I got to talk some golf with Aaron about you, Mace. And obviously,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Was he talking trash?
I wouldn't be doing my job if he didn't tell me to make sure he told you, or make sure that I told you that he still is a better golfer.
Well, yeah, and you sent me that text yesterday, and obviously, I replied back with, "I'm just glad that he finally listened to Coach McCarthy and became Pittsburgh tough, and got out there and just got his mind right out there in Pittsburgh." But also that's the only communication I've had with him in a little while. It's like, oh, cool, man. You talk to another friend of mine and have him text me. I mean, I've texted you 4 or 5 times, haven't heard back, but at least I felt like I was connected to him through you, Dave, which was really nice.
That's I am a connector, Mace.
Yeah,
That's kind of what
you're
I
just
do.
the conduit. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just bringing people together. We got
Mhm.
Dave Farrell, bass player for Linkin Park, winner of 1.5 ducks, as Jay Bushwhacker Jay, made sure to confirm. So 1.5 ducks. I saw your name on here a couple times. We all signed this thing. I am holding the duck from our Band in Dunes event here last April, and feel good about it. I'm also rocking my Champions hat, that's which I gave out as a gift one year, but. Dave, how is the golf game right now? Have you been playing a lot? We are playing tomorrow morning here in the great city of Franklin, Tennessee. Todd Puffer, our good buddy, got us on a nice club, so we'll be able to go and enjoy that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I wish I had some good news to report about my golf game, Team Ace, but I'm working right now quite a bit, and this
Yeah, you
whole
don't even
touring
travel
thing.
with the clubs?
This touring thing is getting in the way of the better side of my golf game. Yeah, not traveling with the clubs right now. Um, we don't have I don't have enough time to make that make sense or make it worthwhile to bring the clubs, but I'm very excited to get out and play with you tomorrow. And yes, Todd Puffer, nice enough, America's guest, nice enough to get us set
America's
up for
guest.
some good golf, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's definitely one thing when I'm on tour, when I do get the chance to get out and play, and especially in cities with friends that I don't get to see all the time. It's like it's a highlight. It just breaks up the daily grind of what we're doing and gives us something fun to do.
Well, let's talk a little. I want to, and honestly, it's funny. I've been around you now. Gosh, this year was my 10th classic with that group, and so I've known you for 10 years now, and but we've just never really sat down and talked about what it means, going on tour and being with Linkin Park. We've had some little conversations, but I was just kind of thinking from like a sports perspective as well, like. We're going to go golfing tomorrow morning, and then you have the concert in Nashville tomorrow night. Like, what is that preparation? Like, what does it take to get ready? Because, I mean, y'all, I mean, I've heard y'all are going for like, 2+ hours up there and like, are crushing it right now. So
Yeah.
what does that preparation look like?
Yeah, I haven't played golf on a show day like in the morning or whatever for a long time. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens.
He's going to
The
be up there on
funniest,
stage
dude,
just like,
it's
oh.
just dying. The funniest thing though is that so we've been playing these arenas in the US the last couple weeks, and we find ourselves, they're usually a basketball slash hockey arena, and the hockey teams like what is it, like PTs and chiropractors have been
Yeah.
nice enough to like be there for us and our crew. And it's kind of turned into this tour of the NHL's like PT teams. And at one point, I think we were in Boston, and the guy was like, this trainer, I think it was this guy Joe. I might be getting the cities mixed up, but he was like, "You guys are in worse shape than our team, like than the hockey guys when they come in here.
Just
Like,
beat
what is
up.
go? Yeah, they're like, what is going on? Like, everybody's got like a different knee issue, hip issue, something happening. At this stage, I'm just kind of like, well, we're not in our mid 20s, and there
Yeah,
still
you've been
is this
doing this for a
grind of
long time.
Right, right. I mean, these
yeah,
are pro athletes you're not in as good a shape in. I'm sorry, Dave. Yeah,
yeah.
that's not a big deal, I feel like.
That kind of stings a little bit, but
It kind of hurt a little.
yeah. But we're still doing the travel. We're still doing the like the tough recovery. Yes, we stay in nice hotels, but there's a lot of nights on buses. There's a lot of nights where, whatever, you're just your body's messed up. So it's kind of turned into this professional rehabilitation tour where we're now rating the different teams against themselves with their training staff to put us back together every day before we play our shows.
Well, it is nice. At least you have like a couple days in between. It's like probably, I bet in your early days, y'all were going like back to back, like just, as many shows as you could possibly squeeze in. But, now wiser, older, yeah, putting a few less shows on the tour and making them come out and be really good. So we got Dave Farrell on the Mason Crosby show. He's a longtime member of Linkin Park from the beginning, crushing it. A good buddy of mine, a golf buddy of mine, going to be teeing up tomorrow. Let's. I want to ask you a little bit about your soccer allegiance. You're an LAFC guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So, and they just
You're and
got
you're
Son. They
Man
just
U
got
before
Son
that,
right
right?
from. Man, you get out of here, man. You're like, look at you. Did Tommy text you to say something like that before?
No, I
Give me a
remember.
break.
I grew up with Man U, so that that
I
was
know
one of
you are.
those.
No, we've had that conversation before. It's okay. You just like the front runners. You want to just, the
Yeah,
big
yeah,
spenders,
yeah.
the big money guys.
These days, yeah, the big front runners, Man U.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, LAFC. Somehow I can't remember the first contact point we had with the organization over there,
It
but
was probably Will
me and
Ferrell, right?
well, it's probably Fiore. You know,
Yeah,
Fiore, and then Will Ferrell, my kin by name, not by
that's
blood.
right.
Um, but early on, I got I was excited that LA was getting a new club. I saw how they were kind of building it, and they were partnering up a lot with Dortmund and approaching the fan experience from a club perspective with what Dortmund does in Germany. And I was just kind of thinking, if this works, this is going to be really awesome because it's
It's gonna be great.
a different way of doing things in the the soccer world in the U.S. And so they sent over some hats, and I wore an LAFC hat before they even had signed, like Vela was their first signing, before they had signed their first player. I was wearing an LAFC hat for some of our promo stuff, and then randomly that photo appeared on like tour promos in like
Oh,
Poland,
nice.
and one of the owners saw like one of the owner's son, who's a big like rock guy, saw a guy in Lincoln Park wearing their club's his dad's club's hat in Poland before they'd ever even like kicked a ball. And so they kind of then reached back out and said, "Hey, this is really awesome." And we just kind of forged a relationship really early with the club. And since then, it's just been a total blast to see how well they've done and see that
That's
them kind
awesome.
of like take their spot. But
Because
tons of
Linkin
fun.
Park, y'all are really big in Germany, right? I mean, like German, you've always had a really big following in Germany because y'all just played the Champions League final halftime show, right, in Munich.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
awesome was that?
It was crazy. It was so fun. In the build up to that too, this going back, a summer ago, so a year before the final, it had come across our desk or management had said, "Hey, there might be a chance to play the Champions League final. What do you guys think of that?" And everybody's doing the normal thing that we do, which is that a band does, which is like, "Oh, how would that fit in the schedule? What does that look like?" And I'm like, "Oh, hell no! Like we're playing this. Like
We're
I don't
doing it.
care."
We'll make it
I'm like,
work.
I don't care what this means or what we have to do. We're playing that thing because that's going to be awesome. Like that's going to be awesome for me. So screw all you guys. Like we're doing it.
Right,
And then,
exactly.
dude, okay. And so then on top of that, it comes about and it gets like all buckled in and whatever else. And it turns out like that game is on a Saturday night or whatever. And my oldest daughter's high school graduation is on that Friday, like the day
Oh,
before. And so then I was doing the whole thing of like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go play that.
no way.
I'm going. I have to see my daughter graduate high school. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it, but it got figured out, and like I showed up. I wasn't there for any of the press stuff. I wasn't there for any of the rehearsals the whole
Just
week.
flew you out
I
right
showed up at
after
like
graduation.
land in Germany at like 4 p.m. Evening of the show. Roll over to the stadium and go and play it, which was great, and then proceed to start the tour from there. But pretty cool experience. I don't know what it is. There's a couple markets for us, Germany being one of them. Brazil is another one. A lot of South America in general, but there's just these cool like pockets around the world that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be Lincoln Park markets or rock markets or even like before we started touring, I didn't even know that they would enjoy English speaking music or
Yeah,
anything like that. But they are really, really great places to go play shows.
that's awesome. All right, Tommy, I think did you say we got someone calling in? All right.
Yes, got Garrett in
Oh no.
Tennessee.
You know who this is.
here.
You know it's not Garrett. We know who this is.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Garrett. Garrett from where are you located, Garrett? You in Franklin
I
area?
spent time in Tennessee and then also some time out at Bannon Dunes. And Dave, hey, it was great to caddy for you, man. You did a great job out there. I know you always recommend me and try to get with me when you're out there. Just a couple, just one quick question though, Dave. I know you have a lot of options there as far as sports went, what you did athletically, and then sticking with the band. So I was curious, are you happy about the decision sticking with the band, or you think maybe some athletic avenue might have been better for you? And then, sorry, one follow up too, as far as on that tournament. I mean, I know there's a lot of athletes and a lot of studs playing in that thing. So, what do you guys see as what it takes to be a champion of the Desert Classic? I know you guys have that, and you guys have shown you can do it. So, what does it take to win such a prestigious tournament?
Garrett, what a great
Right.
caller. What
Great question, Garrett. If you had tried to call Dave, he would have blocked you because you were not a great caddy for him. But I appreciate you calling in, Garrett. Yeah, we'll answer your questions and keep being a fan of the show.
I would expect Todd to have like a voice disguiser, which would have
I
been
know, just
great.
muffled. Yeah, so
If he,
that's our buddy Todd Puffer that plays also in the Desert Classic. Was there at Bandon. He was rocking some ailments last year. What do you have, a torn tendon in his foot? There were a lot of excuses. It was hard for him to walk around that course. But uh, do you even
Yeah.
want to? Do you want to answer his questions? What
I was
does it
just
take to be
hoping
a champion of the Desert Classic? You
when
can answer that, Dave.
when Todd calls in, I just wanted him to have like one of those gay motion, like a horror movie voice disguiser,
Exactly.
and
Just
then
like
just still go by
the scream
Todd.
mask.
Yeah. Um, yeah, well, yeah, Todd knows my athletic pedigree, Mason, as you probably do as well. And early, like it's funny, we used to always get asked in interviews, if you weren't in a band, what would you be doing? My answer was always like I'd be playing power forward in the NBA.
Yeah,
Um,
no doubt.
yeah, I mean, and I'm glad that you didn't laugh at that because
You
that's
could be a
not a joke.
swimmer. I've seen you
I
swim.
have no idea how tall you are, Dave. I'm sorry. You look like your torso looks like a power forward in the NBA from right here. That's all I
I'm
got
s-
for you.
yeah, I'm 6'7", um, standing
But
on
he's a
a
short 6'7". He's a like it's
standing
just
on a almost 1 foot tall box.
nice.
Yeah, no, like 5'9", with my tall shoes on. But yeah, and I'm good at holding my breath. I don't know about swimming, but I can hold my breath pretty well,
Just
Mason. You
hold
prove
your
that.
breath. We did a few of those competitions. You always waited till everyone had about 10 drinks in them, and then you're like, let's do the hold your breath competition in the pool
Couple
and see who can
drinks,
swim under the
yep.
water, yeah, the
Couple
longest. And it's
cigars, maybe some cigarettes, and then let's see who can
yeah,
hold their breath the longest. That
yeah. I
took a
mean,
guy
you're
out. That
just
took Brian Ong almost got taken out of the tournament one year from the hold
we
your breath
almost lost him.
contest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost lost somebody.
he somehow got like a calf cramp, couldn't walk. I mean, this is some serious athlete stuff we're talking about here.
This is real athletic stuff. Well, Dave,
Yeah.
hey, before we let you go, I do want to talk about your show coming up at Fiserv Forum on Monday night. I do think it is a great question. Just like how did you you know in the shortest way possible, like how did this become all these years ago, Linkin Park, and everything that is kind of unfolded, and how this run, like how long y'all have been doing this, and then
Yeah.
tell me, like, maybe tell everybody like how unique it is now, with your new lead singer, like just kind of how everything has evolved, with the sad passing of Chester, a few years back.
Yeah. Um, so we started the band, roughly I'd say around 1997-ish or whatever when we were in college. And me and Brad were at UCLA together, and then Mike and Joe from the band were over at Art Center. We met Chester and Rob outside of that separately. But by the time we were finishing school in like 99, we kind of like weaseled our way into getting a record deal. Like we had been passed on 30 times. Nobody was kind of believing in what we were doing. Everyone was already kind of like, well, Limp Bizkit's already doing a rap rock thing. Kid Rock is already doing a thing. What are you guys doing? And we were always like, no, no, we're not doing that. We're doing our own separate thing. But you're 21 years old and trying to convince people of that. And so we finally got in this, like, through a publishing deal we signed, we got into a record deal with Warner Brothers. Thankfully, then we just kind of like circled the wagons, closed up the shop, wrote a great record with Hybrid Theory.
So
And as
good.
soon as that came out, um, just the momentum kind of built and built and built. And at any stage, like, I feel like you never know. There's not one thing where it worked or is working. It's like this series of 1,000 steps, and some of them are missteps, but it just grew and grew and grew, gained momentum and became this monster. And it feels like a big part of that is just timing and luck. It kind of feels like winning the lottery to get to do something you love to do and do it with a great set of friends. Uh, and then with Chester's passing, that obviously blindsided us. Just like pulled the rug from everything we were doing, band wise, career wise, and it was like a huge reset for everybody individually.
Yeah.
We kind of all, for a good chunk of time, went our own separate ways, kind of reconnected with family and friends at home, and I think we were pretty much not doing anything for 5, 6-ish years. At a certain point in there, Joe kind of had reached out to me and Mike and said, do we want to try to do anything moving forward? What does that look like? If so, like, I kind of want to know. Otherwise, I really want to be, mentally, spiritually, whatever, pursuing other stuff with the rest of my
Yeah.
life. So the three of us got together and started just writing a little bit. We didn't know if it was going to be Linkin Park. We didn't know if we were going to even like it. We didn't know what it was. It's like standing here now, it seems like obvious how things came together, but at that stage it was
Right.
I felt like there's so many different questions if it was going to be Linkin Park that we had to answer. And through the process, we started working with other musicians, other writers. We worked with Emily, who's become our singer. We worked with Colin, who's become our drummer. But it was always under that idea of like we're just getting together to see what we can write and see what we can do and
Just, yeah,
hang
see
out
if
and have a
this
good
is still
time.
something that we want to take on. Yeah.
And at a certain point for us, it was kind of undeniable that this isn't what Linkin Park used to be, but it still for us had the DNA of what we've always loved about the band. It still is, it's a different chapter and version of Linkin Park, but we love it and it is that. And so there's kind of this dual thing where it's like I've got this whole history, in my life with Chester and with the incredible person and vocalist that he was and everything we were able to do together. And then that chapter kind of just changes or turns over. And then it's like now we've won the lottery again in a different way. Like Emily is incredible. She's her own like generational voice,
Yeah.
different than Chester, but still there's through lines of, you know, kind of like there's a yin and a yang to them in some way or another. The energy wise, the feel wise. Um, and there's like a new blood in the band with both Emily and Colin that just makes it refreshing. And in the process of that too, Brad had kind of rejoined the band and re-upped what he was doing and worked on the record.
Nice.
And yeah,
Well,
so
I've
that's
talked
kind of
about
where
that
we're
a
at now.
lot too. It's whenever young guys would come into the locker room, or you kind of you sometimes need that spark, right? To say like, all
Yeah,
right, do I still want to push after this?
yeah,
Well, I'm glad you are. I'm glad y'all are rocking. I know it takes its toll. It's it's a lot of work, but I know everybody there. You're going to have a big contingent there in Milwaukee. From people we know coming to watch. We're going to be crushing it on Thursday night at the show as well. So
yeah.
really appreciate you jumping on.
Shout out to our buddy Rob Hall. I think Rob told me at some point he's bringing like 40 people himself. So
Yeah.
normally with
I
friends or
think he
whatever,
got
I
two
can.
suites or something like that. And we were supposed to come to that one as well, but Nolan has a freshman football game on Monday night, so couldn't miss that. I'm sorry, Dave, I couldn't make it
Well,
to a second concert because of a football game.
there
Will
you
you
go.
forgive me? Yeah, I
Of
appreciate it.
course, family first.
You almost missed the Champions League halftime
I know.
show,
Yeah,
for for kids. It's once you have kids, I'm sure that's a huge difference as well, right? It's like
yeah.
kids, all the
It's
stuff, and like early days are just like, let's go, we'll do it all.
yeah. The kids now too are at a point with the touring where they know what's going on and they're excited to come out and visit.
I'm
Back in the
sure.
day, my girls would be like good for attention span for about a song of a live show, and then they'd be doing sidewalk chalk in the venue somewhere, just over
Exactly.
it. Whereas now they're way into they get it more and they're way into the band, have a ton of fun with it. So that's a lot of fun too.
Well, Dave, I know you got to get on a plane to fly out here to Tennessee, so I'm really excited to see you tomorrow and to tee it up. I hope Todd, lets us win tomorrow. I hope he has it dialed in on the club that he selected. I don't know much about it. He just picks them and we show up. He just chooses from his menu, and we just go along for the ride. But Dave, always a pleasure, and we will see you tomorrow, and safe travels, buddy.
Great seeing you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, later, Dave.
There he is, Dave Farrell, Linkin Park, joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. So nice of him to join there, Mason. And are you going to win tomorrow? Are you gonna win? Are you
Oh
gonna
yeah,
beat
I'm
him?
going to
Yeah.
dominate.
Okay.
And they're going to borrow some of my clubs, so I'll probably maybe they might be a little bent. Something
Yeah.
might be a little off with some of them. So I wouldn't
Shaving
trust
the
me. Yeah, I
driver.
wouldn't
Yeah,
trust me with
right.
this. I have a couple of use sets that I think they could probably work out pretty well. But Yeah, Dave's awesome. He's he's one of the best guys in that group. He's just does he's dry humor. He's so funny. But yeah, I do have to give a shout out to old Bushwhacker Jay. He does his own production and radio show leading up to our Desert Classic, which I'll have to show you sometimes. The rankings, all of those things. So. I'm trying to just live up to the standard that he has set. So, Jay, I'm just trying to be more like you. So, I appreciate the guidance and the help, and I'm just trying to be more like Bushwhacker Jay.
Yeah, we all are, aren't we?
As we all are.
Let's get to some Packers talk on the other side. A big day for Jordan Love at practice yesterday, but it's just practice. Everyone relax. And the theory I brought up yesterday, looking very, very smart, Mr. Crosby, okay? If you remember. I will remind you.
You are a smart guy.
I try sometimes. It's the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.